Alright guys, today I have a really exciting video. If you guys have been watching what's been going on lately and you see this box and you see the shape of it, you probably can guess what this is. Well, of course you've seen the title of the video, but this is the Steam Deck. Something that I've been waiting for. I pre-ordered it as soon as it became available, back in July. And I'm super excited to get my first hands-on with you guys. I haven't even unboxed it yet. We're going to be doing the unboxing together. Just to show you guys what this is the 512 gigabyte version. I have the 512. I got a 1 terabyte SD card that I got a couple days ago, ready to put this in and put this through its paces. And I can't wait to do the unboxing and of course give you my first impressions on how it feels and show you guys a little bit of gameplay. Now, there's going to be a lot of videos coming out on the Steam Deck on this channel. If you guys want to see something specifically running on the Steam Deck, or what videos you guys would like to see, or what games I should test next, make sure you leave that down in the video below, or down in this video below, with whatever you guys want to see, because I'll be making a ton of content on this thing. The next video I'll be doing is comparing it to the Switch OLED and comparing some of those games back and forth on what games I own on the Switch and what games I own on the Steam Deck, and kind of compare them, see what they look like when one screen has an OLED and one doesn't, how they run, how they look, all that kind of stuff. And then of course doing other videos on other games to show you guys how they run. So there's a lot of stuff coming. So if you guys are fans of the Steam Deck, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button because there's a lot of good stuff coming. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the Steam Deck. Like I said, I have not unboxed this yet. We're opening this up for the first time. I have not seen one in person, of course. So I'm super excited how this is actually going to look and how it's going to play. I've seen a lot of videos like I'm sure the rest of you guys have. And look at the first unboxing right here, guys. There it is in the video there. Gigantic box with the Switch, with the Steam Deck here. Like I said, I did get the 512 gigabyte version, which comes with the anti-glare screen. Of course, with the 512 gigabytes in size, it comes with the special carrying case. Comes with some Steam profile and keyboard specialty icons and stuff. So let's go ahead and take out what's in the box here. So you can see here is a giant pamphlet just telling you what this is. So you'll see that this button tells you it's a Steam Deck, and this brings up some options which we know about already. Tells you how to plug it in to charge it and stuff like that. So we'll leave that to the side. Nothing else in the box, so we'll put that to the side here. Let's look at the contents of this box here before we get to the main event. So in this box here, we just got the power cable to charge. Just a little instruction pamphlet here at the bottom. We'll leave that there for now. Nothing else in there, of course. So here is the charger here for the unit. Little nice power brick there. Looks like it's USB-C, yep, on the other side. So we'll put that there to the side. And of course, here is what we're all here for. Here is the actual Steam Deck. I can't believe this is in my hands right now because not only because I'm super excited about it, but because of how crazy it was to be able to get one of the first ones to actually come in. And I'm super excited to share that with all you guys by showing you guys all the different videos on it. So you can see here, as I take the wrapper off, your games are going places. Steam Deck, designed by Valve Corporation. Because there's a video game console and the case is in here, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Nice premium case here. You can see the logo there on the front. You can see this little handle, I guess is what you would call it, back here. It has a little pouch right here on the back, which I would assume is for the charger to go into, and then you can kind of put the charger there on the back if you want to there, and it kind of holds it in place. Nice little zipper here. Let's go ahead and open this up together. You just pull this little piece off here that's holding it together. Put that in the box there. Unzipper this. Definitely feels premium. The case has a nice hard shell to it, front and back. Feels nice, and the actual unzipping and stuff feels good, so it's definitely premium. And here it is. And wow, there is the Steam Deck in front of me for the first time. And this thing is definitely huge. Even bigger than I thought it was going to be before, because, like I said, I had no idea what to expect when I first got this, because I've never seen one in person before. So it's nice to see how this actually looks there. First impressions are, yeah, it's big. Let's actually put it in our hands. Let's see what it feels like, though. It does have, it definitely weighs more than like the Switch and stuff, the Switch OLED that I have, but it doesn't feel as heavy as you would think just by looking at it. Because by looking at it, you would think that this thing would weigh more than it actually does, but it actually feels good in my hands. Granted, I have probably bigger hands than some other people. I wouldn't say they're overly large, but I wouldn't say they're small. And this fits comfortably in my hands. We'll see how it goes, obviously, as I keep using it. But it naturally fits into the thumb spots like it does here. I can naturally hit the A button, the X, Y, and B. They all feel good. They seem to be clicking good there. We got the top buttons there that I can reach really easily. You got the D-pad there on the left, which works good there. And there's obviously the triggers on the back, the top triggers and the back triggers. All that feels good. Volume and all that stuff on the back here. You got the extra buttons here that you can map here on the back that your fingers just kind of naturally lay at. So you can see my thumbs are on the thumbstick there. I can easily hit the trigger, and then I have these extra buttons here that I can easily just hit for whatever I want to map them to in the game. So first impressions are, yeah, this screen is definitely huge, and the actual system is definitely big, and I can't wait to dive into this and download some games. Let's just look at a couple things here. So we got the screen screen cloth there to clean. We got a little strap here. Here's the inside of the case. Like I said, it definitely looks premium and feels really nice. So really happy with the case and how that feels and stuff. It definitely feels like it's going to keep it protected for sure. But of course, we're here to see the Steam Deck. So now that I've unboxed it for you guys, let's go ahead and I'm going to power this thing on here for the first time here. And obviously, it's going to ask me for my Steam account and all that stuff. So let me get this set up with my Steam account, log in with my password, and then we'll come back to the table and I'll give you guys an up-close look on, you know, the interface and what my first impressions are. Alright guys, so here we are with the Steam Deck interface as we talked about before. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through the interface here because there's a lot of videos that have already done it. I'll do some quick highlights really fast on everything in the settings that I've seen. And just a quick caveat, of course, I downloaded a bunch of games after I signed in and actually tried a couple and ran into some issues that we're going to talk about as we go through them that will help you guys get these games to work. Let's go ahead and first look at the left button here. This is the Steam button here on the left. So if you see that, you can click on Home, Library, Store, Friends and Chat, your media, your downloads, your settings, and your power. So the Home is obviously this right here. So you see your recent games, and you can see all the things that are trending, what's new in the store, all that kind of stuff as you guys are used to. So you can go into there. Of course, then you have the library here, which is what I have here. These are all of my games on here, as you can see. Those are all my games right there that I have installed on the library so far. So we'll get into some of these here in a little bit. I have not tried every single game, but I've tried some. And then, of course, there is the store that launches here. And you can see the store. You can kind of look at the top, and it will tell you what's a great experience on the deck. So you can go ahead and just scroll by what's great. Look at your store home, the categories, the search, your wish list, and stuff like that. And you can kind of just scroll down and look at all that. And then, like I said before, you have your friends, your media, and then, of course, your downloads. When you're downloading something, you'll see, like, the queue and stuff. You can see I already have something in the queue right there, but pretty simple stuff as far as that goes. Now, another thing that's really cool is this button right here. So this will actually bring up a quick settings menu that you can actually take a look at. And this has some cool options on here because, of course, you can adjust, you'll get your notifications here for any game or anything like that. You have your friends list here, as I was talking about before. And this is where you can voice chat and stuff and go to messages and all that kind of stuff. Then you have your brightness settings here, your audio level for your speakers, which are actually surprisingly loud for someone that didn't expect it to be as loud as they are. They're definitely much louder than the Switch is. Microphone, of course. Game rumble, Steam haptics, airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, night mode, stuff like that. This is an important performance mode here, so you can see here it tells you how much projected battery you have left. You can set the performance overlay to a certain level, and this just gives you overlay information while you're playing games. Right now I just have it on FPS, so you can kind of see there. And then you can click on an advanced view and even set throttling. So for right now I am going to set this to 60, so you guys can see how games work, but just know you can basically come in here and basically throttle the frame rate, so you can save battery life. You can go up to 15 for whatever reason you want to do that, or 30, or 60, which is awesome that you can do that. Going over here real quick, I just want to show you guys that you can, of course, come into the settings here. You can see here you have general, system, look at all the settings here. You got the clock, you got the Steam Play overlay there for supported titles. You got the system options here, so you can check for software updates. Here you can select if you want to be on the stable or beta release. Note that some games may crash, or anything can crash when you're on the beta, which I realized with one of my games that we'll talk about in a little bit. That's why I'm back at stable. You can format your SD card from here. I have a 1 terabyte sitting in here right now, and I already filled my storage. Internet, of course, notifications that you can set for different things. You can adjust the display stuff that we were talking about before on here, dimming the display, when to put it to sleep. You got the audio stuff on here. You got Bluetooth, because you can connect controllers and Bluetooth devices to this. Here's your controller options. Keyboard, you can actually you can see some more keyboard themes on here if you want to select different keyboard themes. Friends and chat options, download options, family sharing, and remote play as well. So you can see my computer is, this is for basically pairing Steam Link. So if you have a computer in your house and you want to just stream the games right from that device and not use the power of this thing, you could do that as well. Definitely recommend a 5 gigahertz router if you're going to try doing that. And these are just all my games. So you can see right there how crazy it is. But my storage is already gone. Like, I have 27.4 gigabytes of storage there. And then the micro SD card is almost full as well. So yeah. And these are all the games that I currently have installed, like we talked about before. So those are the main options in here. Now let's go ahead and look at my library again. So if I go into library here, these are all the games that I've played so far. So, for example, I have played Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 does work. It works great. Multiplayer included. I think it's the latest Call of Duty that we can play right now on Steam Deck, even though this game, when you open it, it does specifically say that it doesn't have like an actual... So when you click on a game, you see where it says Game Info. You can check the Steam Deck compatibility for all of these games right there. As you can see here, this one says that it's not compatible yet. Good thing is that doesn't matter, as you can see there, because it still works online and everything, even though it hasn't been validated according to this, and it says that they're trying to add compatibility, but it seems to me like it's already working, because it does work, and I played online and all that, and it worked with no issues. I also played, let's see, I played Elden Ring, and we all have seen videos on that, so that one runs well as well. I also tried Hot Wheels Unleashed. So Hot Wheels Unleashed is one of the games that I was having a problem with, which is why I went to start testing a couple of games before I did this video with you guys for the first time sitting down here, because Hot Wheels Unleashed is a game that people have talked about working. It's actually, as you can see, that green check mark. That's what tells you if it's going to be a green check mark there. It means it's fully verified, like it says here, fully verified. But every time I launched it, it wasn't working, and it was because I was part of the beta program. So whatever part of that beta update that it's doing is causing this specific game to crash. Every other game was fine in the beta, so that's why I went back to stable, and now this game works perfectly fine. So it's something to keep in mind. So Color Queen Black, I haven't tried that yet. I did try Madden 22 just because I wanted to see what it would be like to play a football game, basically, you know, natively like this on a handheld, and it's fantastic, and it does play. That one, the yellow one, means there that it's playable, which is what their ranking is. So it's verified, which is great, and playable, and then unsupported. So I have tried that. Some of the other games I've tried, Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid, I've tried that already. Rocket League works fantastic. And this is another one that was interesting. So one of the things that I got to talk to you guys about, so you guys don't run into the same issues as me, is when I was playing these games, I started off with Rocket League, and I was playing an online match, and it would randomly just hitch all the time. And the same thing was happening to Sonic Racing Transformed and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, where it would randomly go from 60 to 30. Like, literally, I'd be at 60 and all of a sudden hitch all the way down to 30 and right back up to 60. And I found out after doing some research that the way that Linux works and Vulkan Shaders work is that you have to play, like, these games a little bit, play a couple of matches sometimes in order for the shaders to start catching, and then the issue kind of goes away on its own. And that's exactly what happened. Once I played a couple of rounds of Rocket League and I played a couple of laps of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, it was all set to go. Now,
Steam and Valve are taking steps to mitigate this, where it catches the Vulkan shaders before you even play these games during the startup process, so that doesn't happen. But in some of these games, it's not all happening. Like, I guess because these games are older, like, you know, I had to do it as I was playing. I'm not sure why Rocket League doesn't work automatically, but either way, I had to do that for both of those. So it's just something to keep in mind if that's something that happens to you. Another game I tried was Battlefront 2. Fantastic that one works. And I actually got this to work all on high settings, which is just crazy. The only thing I left on medium was the shaders. Or not the shaders, sorry, the shadows is what I left on medium. Everything else is on high, and it still ran at 30 FPS or higher. So fantastic there. Unreal Tournament 3 works, even though it was not tested yet. Unreal Tournament 3 does work. Here's something else to keep in mind too. When you open up a game right before you're about to launch it, you can of course launch it right there, but you can also click on the settings right there, and you can go to properties, and it brings you this menu here where you can see, you're probably used to this if you've seen Steam before, what you want to do with updates, your local files, verifying integrity of games, you know, things that we've done before, entering betas and stuff like that. For this one's particularly, you can come into here. This was usually unchecked, so all the games don't have this checked. It's usually just like this. And that means it's using the Proton version that Steam is obviously putting out there, the 7.0 that's currently out there right now. However, for me, the game was crashing on that version, so I just came in here and I tried the Proton Experimental instead of the Proton 7.0-1, which is the default one. And the Experimental launched without any issues, and it runs great at 60 FPS on all high settings, which is awesome. And you can see that you can try a bunch of different versions when you need to. So something to keep in mind when a game crashes, you can come in here and change the compatibility mode to basically try. Proton Experimental is definitely the first one I would try, and then one back would be the two that I would usually try out. And this is obviously what it looks like. I didn't talk about what it looks like when you're actually on a game menu, but you obviously have your activity, your stuff there, your achievements, community tab there. You can go to the game info, access the community hub, the point shop, store page, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. These are all of the games on here. Let's go ahead and get into some gameplay on a couple of these so I can at least show you how this thing runs. So let's start off with Hot Wheels Unleashed. So these menus that I was talking about before, you can open up while you're opening up a game. So this is how you exit the game. You would just come here and you can exit the game right from there. You can even see the controls for games. You can go into controller settings, into the game, and kind of look over here and actually download layouts. Sometimes, obviously, this one has an official layout, so you wouldn't want to touch it because it's configured perfectly, but you can download community ones from here if you needed to for certain games and come in here and kind of change the layout, play with it, and get the buttons exactly how you want, which is awesome. And then, of course, you can bring up the quick settings like I was talking about before to kind of manipulate, look at your friends list, get into party chats and stuff like that. So really easy. You can get into those overlays anywhere you are. So let's just go ahead and just do a quick race just to show you guys what this looks like here. Game looks fantastic on here. You can see the FPS counter that I have there at the top. I blew the starting line, but that's fine. And here we are playing Hot Wheels. So I'm playing this behind a camera, so I'm probably not going to do that well. But yeah, this game is actually really fun, especially if you're nostalgic about the Hot Wheels cars and all that kind of stuff with the DLC. Really, really fun. Looks fantastic on here. I believe that this game's on the Switch as well, but obviously it looks much better on here. Yeah, you can see how well that runs. 60 FPS lock with everything at high settings. Yeah, this game's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking this one out, especially since it's Steam Deck verified. It runs really, really well after I got out of the beta. And of course, you can just pause it here. You can easily just come over here like I talked about before. Go over here, exit game, hit confirm, boom, you're out. That's how fast it is to get out of a game, and you're kind of done. And don't forget, while you're playing a game, for example, let's go ahead and go into another one. Let's see, what are we going to try next here? Let's try a game that is not really verified. So, just because the game is not verified doesn't mean it's not going to work. You're going to have to test it out. For example, this game here is older, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. You can see here, it says unknown compatibility, but I've had good luck so far. So if we go back over here and we hit play, you can hit the configuration so you can change the settings to make everything maxed out, but I already did that. So this one, like I said, this is the weird one that I had to play a little while because the FPS was dropping from 60 to 30. It seems to have gone away. I see the Vulkan shaders there going down there and kind of downloading them before the game actually starts and processing them. But there were still a couple of times where it was hitching, so we'll see if that still happens here. But it did get a lot better than the first time I played. The first time I played, I thought something was severely wrong. And then I noticed it was happening in a Rocket League and the other Sonic Transformers game. I was like, all right, something's going on. And then I found out about these shaders that need to be cached. And sometimes you need to play these games for a little bit.
Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing!
So we can go ahead and hit play here. We'll just go ahead and do a single track here.
Sonic. Whale Lagoon.
So you can, of course, hit this top button here. It goes into sleep mode while you're playing the game. And then you could just hit it right back whenever you want to continue playing the game. And here I am, right back where we were playing the game. So, again, you can literally just be playing a game. Say you pause it right here. Say you hit the start button to pause it. You can go ahead and hit that top button there, and it will. You can put it into sleep mode, essentially, kind of like what the Xbox and PS5 do. And you can do it on here. The only difference is you can only do one game at a time here, not like the 5 or 6 that stay on the Xbox. This is just one game at a time. You put it into sleep, and then you can come back to that game at any time, and it's standing exactly where it is. So, really cool stuff here. Having good success so far with the games I want to play. So far, I haven't come across any of the games that I want to play that have not worked. Obviously, I haven't tried my whole entire list yet, like I talked about, but so far, even games that are not compatible have worked so far really well. Only a couple of minor issues here with the Hot Wheels Unleashed one that I was talking about before, and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, things were pretty good on here. So everything else has been solid so far. Of course, we're going to do a lot more videos showing different games, not even just the ones that you're looking at here. I have a ton more games on Steam. I'm approaching 1,000 games on Steam. So there's a lot of games. So if you guys want to see specific videos on certain games and how they run, leave those comments down below and I'll definitely do them. This is just a start to give you guys a sample of how games run on here. I just showed you those two. So let's go ahead and give you my final impressions after playing with this thing for a few hours now.
Alright guys, so that was an overview of a couple of games there and how they ran, the menu and stuff like that I've experienced so far. And so far, with a few hours that I've had my hands on this thing, I'm super, super excited to keep diving into this because this thing is awesome. Having a PC in your hand like this, with this much power and being able to run these games, even though I've had some of these games on the Switch, being able to see the graphic fidelity that now I can run on a handheld like this everywhere I go, and playing games that are just not on the Switch, and playing, you know, things like Horizon and God of War and stuff that I still have to dive into is just crazy. And so far, I really, really like everything that I'm seeing so far. The only thing to caveat that I've seen so far is those issues that we talked about there in the overview with using the beta branch and stuff like that. And then the fan noise that people are talking about, the fan noise can definitely be heard, but once you have the speakers on and you're playing a game with headphones or not, it kind of goes away. Like, I heard it, and I can hear it running, but after it just goes away while you're playing a game with the music on and stuff like that. And so that's not really a big issue for me at all. So the fan issue is kind of doesn't matter to me. The battery life has definitely been taking a toll. I've already charged this thing 3 times since I've gotten it in the last 24 hours, or 48 hours, sorry. And yeah, the battery lasts like anywhere between an hour and a half to like 4 hours, depending on what kind of game you're playing. In the game that I'm testing so intensively, obviously, it's killing the battery a lot faster there. But so I'm definitely more on the hour and a half to 2 hour mark. So the battery is the only thing that's definitely like, damn, I wish it was longer. But everything else so far is fantastic. I can't wait to do more videos. And the next video that's coming out this week is definitely going to be comparing the Steam Deck to the Nintendo Switch OLED, because I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to run the same exact game on the Nintendo Switch OLED and Steam Deck side by side. We'll compare and we'll see how much better an OLED screen looks. We'll talk about the differences, why I would keep a Nintendo Switch, why you should still get a Nintendo Switch or why you shouldn't, who should get the Steam Deck, and all that kind of stuff, comparing them back and forth for people who are trying to decide which one to get. There's a lot to talk about there, and I'm excited to dive into that video. But this is just a quick impressions and quick overview of a couple of games running and stuff like that. Like I said, we're going to do a lot more videos, so keep those questions and comments down below on what games you want to see next. So far, my impressions are really, really positive, and I can't wait to dive in more with this thing. If you guys have any other questions that you guys would like answered, go ahead and leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.